5 lessons from the coronavirus. Hey guys, what's up? This is another video, another weekly talk. Usually I release these videos on Monday morning within the first 6 hours, Japan Standard Time, JST. I did have another message planned, but given what's going on in the world right now with the coronavirus, I wanted to do something more relevant, right? Something that we can all relate to. The first one is how swiftly things can change. I'm certain that last year, many of us were planning different travels. You know, usually when it comes down to New Year's resolutions, we make all these plans for the incoming year. But in a moment, in an instant, just like that, coronavirus came. And it changed everyone's plans. That country that you should have visited within the last 5 years of your life, but you kept putting off. And the year that you were planning to finally take that leap, this happened. Things can change in an instant. Number 2. The wisdom of preparedness. When things are beautiful, things are going well, we don't think about the lean years. We don't think about the times when things might go south. We don't think about times like this, right? We don't think about it. But the irony is, it's the good times when we should prepare for the bad times. We know this, of course, you think about, retirement and savings and all these things. And even when it comes down to health, right? Taking care of your health. It's not when you're sick, you should start eating healthy and get active and do the things that will strengthen your body and your mind. It's when you're good, when you feel great, when you're youthful. When things are good, that's the time to prepare, and that's the wisdom of preparedness. We feel as though the great years will continue in perpetuity, and that's why many of us are caught off guard. There's a time and season for every activity, everything. So make sure that right now, we're in the midst of coronavirus, right? It's rampaging throughout the world, but I don't think this is the end. There will be great days again, good days again. It's the cycle of life. Make sure when things are great, you're preparing for when things will slow down or go south. Make sure you have a plan. There's wisdom in being prepared. The third lesson from the coronavirus is that fear does more harm than good. And I'm pretty sure you guys can concur with this. If you look around right now, right, you're seeing the news, you're seeing things on social media where people are fighting over toilet paper. People are getting stabbed over toilet paper, guys. Toilet paper. And that's driven by fear. All the things that's going on right now is being driven by fear. Lesson number 4. We are in this together. When we first learned about the coronavirus, people saw this country as the enemy, right? And then it seemed so far away from some people. And because of that, they just like, hey, okay, it's their problem. But now it's everyone's problem. And no country is exempt. It's a human issue. Each and every one of us are affected by the virus, whether if not personally, our business, our work life, our family life, our leisure, whether it's travel, it doesn't matter. Everyone is affected. So not because something is happening to one cohort or one group of people or one country, we turn a blind eye because we're not affected. It's a human experience. It's a human problem. So I think this is a reminder that we're in this thing together. Global hunger, all the things that the world is facing right now, it's not just this country's problem or those people's problem, because the thing is, if it affects any human, it can affect all human. And I believe that we should take that general approach to every issue that ails humanity to date. Today, we're looking at this country, that continent, that place. It's their problem. And even if we have the resources to help them, we don't want to help them. Or for whatever reason, we choose not to. Whether it's, it never crossed your mind to assist in any way that you possibly can because it's not your problem. You just haven't given much thought to it until it shows up at your doorstep. We're in this thing together, guys. If something affects one human, it can affect all humans. Lesson number 5. Don't take things for granted. Don't take life for granted. Most of us do that. time and time again. Number one, things can change in an instant. You're taking your relationships for granted. You're taking your opportunities for granted. You're taking your health for granted. You're taking your freedom for granted. You're taking all the things that you have at your disposal right now for granted, most of us. And oftentimes it takes a disaster or something negative or bad to happen for us to understand the importance and the value of the things that we possess or hold, or the opportunities that we have, or the flexibility, or the freedom, or the relationships that we have. A few weeks ago, with Kobe's tragic passing, there was a lesson that was held in that unfortunate incident for all of us. It spoke to the brevity of life, and it brought so much sobriety to many of us. But what happened was, in that moment, we were sober. We thought about our lives, our loved ones, how swiftly things can change, that life is transient, is temporary. Death comes for anyone. It does not discriminate. It does not care. And we take so many things for granted. The freedom that we have to travel right now, or before the coronavirus, we took it for granted. So many places we could have visited, we never went because, for whatever reason, we took the availability of travel for granted. We're taking our health for granted. Lesson number 5 is a reminder. And one thing also that we shouldn't take for granted is this moment in time where we're in a state of sobriety for the most part, where we're thinking about life. Because usually it takes a disaster, a tragedy, for us to really think about life and attain a sense of sobriety or a state of sobriety. And when things are great, we usually don't think about these things. So you know what? Take this time, all of us, myself included, my family included, use this time to your advantage. Attain a state of sobriety and really think about life and plan your future as much as you possibly can with all these things in mind. These 5 lessons. Look what the coronavirus so far has done. So many industries, so many businesses, so many things that we are used to or accustomed to have been affected negatively by the coronavirus. There are so many lessons that we can learn from this moment in time. Of course, these lessons aren't new, right? But we should take this time to reinforce these things in our life. Let me know if there are any lessons that you personally have learned during this period that we're in right now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week.